Welcome to DC Music Rocks. The Washington, D.C. region has one of the best local music scenes in the country. We're shining a spotlight on its great songs and incredible people. Tune in, jam on, rock out. I'm your host, Brian Nelson Palmer, and with me today is Brave Like Us. Holy smokes, I'm excited you're here. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
It is such a treat to have you here. And now, if they've never heard of you, introduce yourselves, and how would you guys describe yourself?
Let's see. My name is Laura.
I'm Jay.
So I do the vocals and rhythm guitar stuff. Jay holds down the bass.
Bass and crazy ideas. I'm the crazy idea guy.
Crazy ideas?
That's
Wait
true.
a minute. Who does drum stuff? Or is there just basic drum
So
stuff?
we play, when we do acoustic duo, Jay plays a cajon.
Nice.
And he loops it with the pedal, and we get rocking that way.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Looping and
Good
everything?
times.
Holy smokes.
Nothing
All
There's a
right.
lot
crazy,
of standing
nothing
and
crazy.
sitting for him. A lot of standing and sitting.
That's amazing. Wait a minute. So now, well, how would you describe yourself if they've never heard of you?
I guess we're technically indie rock duo. Yeah, I don't know how to put a label on it. I prefer alternative, but because that's just such a broad, encompassing term. You know, remember the '90s alternative? You can just say that for anything.
90s alternative.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
for some people, that was their heyday, so they might really like that
yeah.
idea. I don't know. And for others, you're right. There's a lot more to it than that. Now, what's recommended what are three big name artists if they never heard of you that you guys have been compared to that they might have heard of?
The first one that comes to mind is The Head and the Heart. And that kind of always comes up. That's a pretty decent one. And then we were talking about maybe some Florence and the Machine. The third one's up
Yeah.
for debate, I think.
We get a little Florency,
We get a little Florency.
you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ah, that's awesome, guys. Well, very good. On our show today, we'll start with the news from the DC music scene. Then we have great music by DC artists to share. And we have a very special interview with Brave Like Us. So 2 quick reminders as we get started. 1, subscribe to the DC Music Rocks podcast. And please take a moment to share us with someone you know who loves music. Most all of our more than 11,000 followers have come through word of mouth and from your shares. So thank you for passing us on. 2, sign up for the email list. Every week, we're finding and sharing all these events, this news, these guests, and this great music. Let us email it to you so you don't have to go looking for it every week. That would be wonderful. Now, jumping into the news. First up, now for new releases. Remember, these are all available right now wherever you get your music online. Their profiles with links to their Spotify, iTunes, and websites will all be linked in the episode notes, so you can just check them out. So in the world of new music, these just came out this week. One is by Clutch, and it's Book of Bad Decisions, which is a full 15-song hard rock album. And man, Clutch, they rock so deliciously hard. They're recommended if you like Led Zeppelin, Faith No More, or Black Sabbath. You might love these guys. They're actually pretty big. They tour the world pretty consistently. They're home every once in a while for maybe one home show. Their album's finally here. I've been sharing the singles with you for a little bit now. So now the album's out. Book of Bad Decisions by Clutch. Hope you check it out. Next, we have Eli Lev did Chasing Daylight, which is a indie folk single that came out. He's recommended if you like Mumford & Sons, Ben Harper, or the Lumineers. You might love Eli Lev. So I hope you check that single out. And then, of course, we have actually the next one, Blue Skies and Death, released Hey Wait, which is kind of an electro pop vibe single. They're recommended if you like Churches, St. Lucia, Savior Adore, or a silent film, is Blue Skies and Death. I've been really enjoying those new releases that came out this week, so I hope you check those out. In the world of music videos, Davey Fresh released Hate is the New Love Part 2. It's a hip-hop vibe. So the links are in your episode notes. Check that one out. Del Florida released a video for their song Fire, kind of an R&B vibe. It's really smooth. I like that one. That link is there for you as well on YouTube. Nelly's Echo released Break My Heart, which is a reggae pop vibe. Nelly is a lot of fun. And then Prince George did Mind Over, which is an electro pop vibe as well. So I hope you check out those. Now, that was a lot of talking for me. In the world of new music, what's happening with Brave Like Us for new music?
Oh man, we're very excited. We're about to drop this full-length album in the fall.
Oh my God, really? Oh, I'm excited.
So
Okay.
we're putting the frosting, as it were, on the top. And
Just finished the last song. We recorded our
I was
last
going to say,
song last
if they
week.
don't know what you mean when you say putting the frosting on, what does that actually mean?
it's final mixes, mastering, all that stuff. But
So that means
the
the
hard work's
recording
done.
part is
Yeah.
done. Now you just
Done.
got to tweak it and make sure it sounds right. Okay. I'm following you.
So,
Nice.
The stuff that, you stay up all night thinking, does anyone even care? Will anyone ever hear this?
Yeah, and if you haven't ever been
And
through
you
the
say,
recording.
I care, Brian.
Yes. I was going to say,
all that
ultimately, it
matters.
comes down to what are you going to hear
That's
when
right.
you hear it. And as long as it sounds good to you in perpetuity, because you can't ever change it. So it has to sound
That's right.
the way you want it. So, oh man, that's all right. Exciting. When you say fall, are we talking October, November, December? What are you thinking? I'm not going to hold you to it, but what are you thinking?
Well, depending, hopefully everything goes as planned, and by the end of this month, we should have something for you guys to listen to.
Oh, heck yeah. All right. Well, either September or October, I'm going to be back on and I'll make sure I share it because this
Yeah.
is awesome. Very good. All right. And then last update, what shows are you going to see this week? We spend hours each week sifting through upcoming shows to share the ones that sound awesome. Check this episode's notes right now to hear the hottest or to see our hottest picks for this week. And remember that our website, dcmusicrocks.com, features DC's only live music calendar that is exclusively for local artists. You can visit the calendar anytime for the full list of all your options, and we hope that you can find time to go see some live and local music around DC this week. Now, in the world of Brave Like Us, I mean, I know you guys perform like all the time. Fun, interesting gigs and all over the place. Talk about upcoming shows for you guys. What's happening?
So we actually had 2 gigs scheduled for this weekend, Saturday and Sunday back to back. We were going to be at Harley Davidson in Stonewall in Orange, Virginia, and then at the Wharf, DC. However, Florence the Hurricane? Is that what they call her?
Oh, that's
I think?
right. Florence.
Yeah,
I would
she's
say if you
kind
guys
of
are
a-
listening, yeah, this is we're talking about the weekend of September 14th and
That's
15th
right.
approximately. Okay, got it. So
Yes.
there's potential for a hurricane
She's
here.
on her way, so she's
that might change
postponed some
those.
things. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it. So what else is coming up then that isn't because of Florence changed?
See. Well, we're about to hit the road. That's true, across the country.
Oh,
Yeah.
say more.
Yes,
Across
well,
the country?
yes. And just prior to that, I've got a couple solo things. We're at Matchbox, and Jay's with me. He runs sound for me whenever I do that.
Now, wait a
stuff,
minute. Solo things. You should specify. So you have a solo career too?
I do. I do a lot of cover stuff solo, just to kind of keep
Got
it going.
And
yeah.
your solo name, which by the way, you're in the database too. I've had you
Yes,
on as a
that's
solo
right,
artist
that's
on the
right.
show too.
That's right.
Your solo name that they can look you up is?
It's Laura Farrell.
And it's spell the last name.
Last name is F as in Frank. I always have to say F as in Frank, Arrell.
Nice. Laura Farrell. There it is. So possibly some solo stuff and then tour time. And where
Tour
are you going?
time.
So we're leaving last week of the month of September. Basically, we're going to be waiting for the box of CDs to come, and as soon as it shows
That's
up,
right. New album.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
we're hopping in. We got an RV, and we're heading to.
Oh, that's
we're
awesome.
going Lewis and Clark style. We're going to go see if we can find the Pacific Ocean. And I've always wanted to drive across the country, and I thought I'd be older, and now I'm just not going to wait. So
There you go.
YOLO.
I was going to say, screw being older. Do it now.
That's right.
This is awesome that you guys are doing it. I can't wait to watch and they can follow you online. Obviously, you'll be posting all the fun pictures. So
Absolutely.
make sure you follow them
We
and
will
see
document the whole
tour.
thing.
Yeah, the tour antics. That's going to be fun. Brave Like Us on tour across the country.
With our little dog. So
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of dog? What
we
dog?
have a dachshund.
Oh, man.
A large miniature
Named?
dachshund. Francesca.
Frankie,
Oh, my God.
Frankie Doodle.
A dachshund
Francesca
named
Valentine is her whole
Francesca.
name.
She's about 15
Oh, my
pounds, soaking
God.
wet.
Yeah.
And
All right, wait a minute. So now the one important thing that I've noticed is dogs tend to have hashtags on Instagram. Is there a hashtag?
Not yet.
I think we should start one.
We should.
You should start
Yeah.
one for the tour if
She's
you don't
very
already.
entertaining.
Because she definitely can have her own featured section,
Yeah.
like hashtag. Make sure you
Yeah.
start a hashtag.
I'm kind
for
of
that.
afraid she's going to steal the show. So
She
we've been
Yeah.
keeping her in the shadows for a while. yeah.
Whatever keeps people coming back. Yes,
true.
that's it. Francesca is part of the family.
She's definitely
That's
going to show up in a music video at some point.
Oh my God, that's amazing. All right. So we've been talking for a little bit. Now let's jump into some music. And the first track of the day, guys, I get to do the world premiere. I have talked about Black Masala on this show so many times. They are such an awesome, it's kind of a gypsy funk horn band. It's hard to describe, but now I get to play them for you because they finally, after 2 years, have a brand new album coming out. And I am so darn excited for this thing. So they let me do the world premiere of this. So this, off the upcoming album, is Trains and Moonlight Destinies by Black Masala.
DC Music Rocks. Great jams to hear by artists from here.
On the east side of town, not far from my home, stakes come a-calling.
so in love with Black Masala, and the track is Trains and Moonlight Destinies. And those guys, my God, the power. If you go see them live, it is an experience. What did you guys think?
They look fun.
That was amazing.
So much energy. What you were saying, it sounds like.
Yeah, it like has a bit of a Devil Went Down to Georgia vibe, but on like with like brass instruments instead.
New Orleans.
Yeah, very New Orleans.
I never.
Really cool. I
Devil
loved
Went
it.
Down to Georgia. That's such a good comparison for that. Holy smokes, guys! Put that in the press release if you're listening. Oh man, that's good. And so the album release. They've got the album coming out later in September, and then October 6th they're at Pearl Street Warehouse. And I mean, it's on my calendar to go because holy smokes, that thing is going to be such a show. It'll probably sell out. So check that one out. And check out more from Black Masala. Follow them if you haven't already and you like that, because that new album coming out, I can't wait to hear the rest of the tracks. That was just your taste for the day. Now, I have Brave Like Us with me, and my favorite way to introduce my guests is to play their music. So let me do that for you right now. This is Brave Like Us, and this is the song Gravity off the album Guardian.
DC Music rocks.
Your heart pulls on me like the center of the earth, built on the fault lines. We were not the first. The ground beneath our feet is bound to break apart. The castles in the sand. It was over from the start. It falls down on me. Feel the weight of it. Every breath I take, it gets harder. We didn't ask for this. All the distance I never meant for us to end up like this. And it fell from the heavens and landed on you, my own Armageddon. Start over new, awakened by the gravity. What more could I do? Slowly slipping away, like the earth and the moon. Changing constellations, an ever-shifting sky. There are no perfect circles, but I saw them in your eyes. The future was uncertain, a path I had to choose. I found you in the darkness, broken and confused. It falls down on me, feel the weight of it. Every breath I take, it gets harder. We didn't ask for this. All the distance I never meant for us to end up like this. And it fell
Holy smokes, the sweet sound of Brave Like Us, and the track is Gravity off the album Guardian, and man, so much power there. Guys, talk about that track. You were saying something about how it's slower than normal, or talk about that one.
It was, we were going for epic in the studio, and there's something about, we slowed it down and it just came through as just this epic monster, and we really liked it, and we decided to keep it that way. But when we play it live, we bump it up a little bit.
Yeah, we were talking about that during when the song was on. We were talking about the fact that it's a little bit like faster when you play it live.
Yeah.
What's Gravity mean? What is that about?
It's heavy.
Whoa,
I don't
it
know. You
is
guys
heavy.
sitting down? Are you guys driving? What are you guys doing?
It's our epic movie song, is what it is.
Our epic movie song.
So-
It does sound like it could be on the
Yeah,
soundtrack. You're
yeah.
right.
It's about a lot of our songs. We try to get into the deeper stuff, and this one's kind of about relationships and how sometimes that they're not going to work, and if you don't nurture a relationship, then they eventually don't make it. So one of the key lines in the song we love is that the moon is moving away from the planet at like some ridiculously small rate, but eventually we'll lose the gravity of the moon. The moon will just slip beyond the Earth's gravity and be lost or be taken by something else. Or
Yeah.
so
Wow.
that concept of
We're also giant nerds.
yeah,
You know?
go science.
Tell
I
it
wore
like
my
it
Moon
is.
Phases shirt
I
too.
get- Oh
you know,
my
just
god!
to
Yes,
celebrate.
she is. She's wearing a Moon Phases
Yeah.
shirt right now. Oh god, it's so good. Thank you guys for being here. So let me give you a proper introduction here. So on DC Music Rocks, we're shining a spotlight on the great songs, artists, and incredible people behind the DC region's music scene. Brave Like Us is an indie duo recommended if you like The Head and the Heart, Of Monsters and Men, or Florence and the Machine. Their highly sought-after bassist, Jay Brazo, is a self-taught musician and songwriter. He writes entrancing melodies on the bass as if it were an extension of himself. He's a former member of Rome in a Day. Jay is a Massachusetts native, now residing in the DC area. And then there's singer-songwriter Laura Farrell, who has a unique and powerful voice. Her vocals have been compared to Sarah McLachlan or Joan Jett. She's also classically trained on the violin. And Laura is a former member of the Yard Slippers, Big Honey, and Rave Parade. So together, those two make Brave Like Us. And I've been following these guys for, God, over a year since this EP came out, whenever that was. But oh man, it's one of those. I discovered Laura first. And then
Yeah.
after Laura, it was like, wait, Laura's a part of a band. And that's how I found Brave Like Us. And that's how I started following you guys. And I've been such a fan for a while. So it makes me really
Thank
excited
you.
that one, there's a new album coming out. And two, thank you for being here. This is really cool.
Thank you for having us. Really, what you do for the DC music community is so important
We
and so
appreciate you.
incredible.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
very
much.
much. Yeah.
Oh, thanks guys.
Thanks for having us on and supporting all of us warriors. You're a fellow warrior too. We're all warriors, right?
I mean, I could relate, but at the same time, you got to be brave like us, right?
That's
You got to
right.
do it.
That's
You
the
got to
thing.
do it. Oh, I love it, guys. All right, so now reintroduce yourselves then and what you play in the band.
Okay, so my name is Laura Farrell, and I am the lead vocalist, rhythm guitar, and the violin. On occasion, I'll get in there to do some of that.
Nice.
And my name is Jay Brazo. I play the bass and a little bit of percussion. And together, Laura and I, we write all these songs. We work on lyrics together. We work on melodies and music, and we just get it done.
So everything we heard was just the two of you, basically layering
And a
on.
little
things.
Yeah.
studio magic.
Well,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
but yeah, layering it on.
And,
Wow. And what's the story behind the name? Brave Like Us. Where does that come from?
So we started out for some reason with the color blue, and we want royal blue came up. Jay was with the royal we were talking
It got
about.
funny. We chased it down some ideas, and we were circling this idea, and then it's just random that blue became an acronym.
BLU is what we thought. Maybe we could just be the
Oh.
acronym blue.
And Laura was like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Brave Like Us. And we
And I
both
was like,
looked at each
yes.
other and high-fived.
That's
and,
it. That's
and the
it.
rest is history. It was a
So we
frozen moment.
dropped the blue acronym
Yeah.
and it became Brave Like
Yeah.
Us. Oh my
It's
God,
still
that is.
blue, like on our calendar. It's
a
blue,
blue
stuff.
calendar,
Yeah.
right?
It's the
Yeah.
blue. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Secrets
Yeah.
you find out
I
on
know.
DC
Yeah.
Music Rocks.
I
That
wish
is
it was
awesome.
I want it to be a cooler
I know.
story,
No, that's kind of an awesome story. What are you talking about?
We're almost called Royal
I was
fascinating.
climbing this mountain, and all of a sudden, this eagle came and handed me a note.
You know what? You can make that story whatever you want. So for all we know, maybe that whole thing was made up right now. But regardless,
We can edit this, right?
Yeah.
I still really like that story. That's awesome, guys. Now, what part of the DC region are you guys connected to? What's home?
So we live in Silver Spring, and so, there's some local stuff around there. We end up playing a lot kind of in the Virginia area, Northern Virginia, out that way.
Nice.
We did some stuff on the mall last year, the Somerset DC series.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
play all over, and home
Yeah,
is
all
the
over.
Northeast DC, Silver Spring,
Yeah.
just in Maryland, that kind of thing.
But I used to live in, I've lived in Adams Morgan.
Right.
I lived in Columbia Heights for a few years. I mean, downtown is such a vibrant area. And then as I get older, I find that I like a little bit more quiet. So Silver Spring's a good balance for us.
It means he likes a parking space.
Oh, and let's be real, guys. There is something to be said for pulling up your
Yeah.
car and not having to look for where you're going
How
to put
about a
it.
car full of
All the gear.
musical equipment?
Gear, that's even true, man.
Yeah. 3 in the morning.
Anybody who's musician or if they're listening who have hobbies that require all the equipment. I mean, golf, whatever it
Yeah,
is that you
yes.
has a ton of equipment that you've got to bring in. Oh man, there's something about parking.
Yeah.
It's true. So that is the advantage to the burbs is that for sure. Now, what about your tell both of you guys, talk about your earliest memory with music.
Oh, mine's horrible. I was like in the.
This is exactly how you should not introduce what you're going to say.
No,
this is like, okay,
terrible.
hey, listen, this is awful.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm going to fast forward. No, okay.
I was asked to sing a lead vocals in a choir in school. I was in like 5th grade, and I was like, sure. I don't think about the future or anything, and I did a terrible job, and everyone laughed, and it was like this traumatic thing for me, and I had crippling stage fright, and that's why I'm a musician now, because the only way to get over something is to just do it over and over again until it doesn't scare you.
This is true.
I mean, the first 300 shows, it was
That's
like
it. Oh, it's awful.
nervous,
Yeah.
and I still
Absolutely.
get nervous, but it's a different kind of nervous. It's more like, are we gonna do this? It's a team nervous, I'm nervous for the team,
Yeah. That's it. Laura, what about you?
So mine is less terrifying. I actually didn't make it into chorus when I was in 5th grade. I got cut. So
Really?
I did. I was so
And yet you're a
terrified.
singer.
And
I'm so
a singer.
impressed
It's
right
so
now.
stressful. So never give up. Just
You're a
keep
singer?
going. I'm actually a singer. Growing up, my dad always listened to classical music a lot, but mostly I remember on the weekends. So we'd wake up and there'd be like the smell of breakfast and classical music just like playing everywhere. And it just was this kind of created this
Breakfast.
moment, this like a really great moment. So that's one of my like biggest memories.
Breakfast and
Right.
classical
Right.
music.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
it is. How old were you? Where was that?
So I grew up in Frederick, Maryland. We lived kind of in the middle of nowhere at the time in the woods. And, I was probably 8.
Yeah.
I feel like everything
Yeah.
happened when I was 8 years old.
Everything when I
It
was
was a
8
busy year. It was a
and
busy
on.
year.
Yeah.
Right. That's the really vivid memory
Yeah.
is starting around that time.
Yeah.
Elementary school. It
Right.
starts there. Now, how did you guys get linked up?
So we actually used to play in a band together, but not at the same time. So I was the original
right.
bass player for a cover band called Rave Parade, who was a band that came from the ashes of Flow in the Dark, which was another band, a great band, hip hop party cover band.
Nice.
And I was in the band for a few months and ended up leaving. And Laura ended up being like their 4th or 5th singer. So it was like a revolving door. You know those kind of bands.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's hard.
And
It's
they
hard.
live on, but cover bands can really do that too because it's not about their art because
Right.
the art is already determined by everybody else. So the cover band, it's really just, can you produce the sounds? And so, yeah, it works better that way.
So
Yeah,
So, it was a revolving door. So then how did it
revolving
overlap?
door. Right. So I came into the band, I guess, soon after he had left. And then I played with another group, called the Right-Handed Lefties because we were all left-handed and play our instruments right-handed, as Jay and I both do as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
So a mutual friend of ours introduced us at IOTA of all places, and we were looking for a bass player, and he said, I know a bass player, this guy Jay, and he brought him over, and there he was, and I was like, oh, you're the guy our other buddy had talked about, and he, it's like I heard about him, and then there he was right in front of me, and he was left-handed, and I was like,
it was
get in
serendipitous,
here.
but no,
This is
I-
it.
Yeah.
It's destined.
Yeah.
It's destiny right here.
I had just spent a year up in Boston, and I had returned back to the DC area, and it was like I'd been back for about a week, and I was at IOTA checking out a friend's band. He's playing
I was
drums,
playing
and
that
you were
night.
playing in. Yeah, she was playing in a Cranberries tribute band,
Yeah.
and my buddy Johnny Rock Rocker was playing in a Green Day tribute band, and he knew, and through Johnny Rocker, he introduced us, and the rest is history.
There it is. Wow. And so that's where Brave Like Us was born.
That's right. Yep.
And so originally you were looking for a third member, but you decided, no, you know what? Let's just do this ourselves.
Yeah. We played with the Right Hand Lefties for a good bit. They're still kicking around. David Thong. Give props to this guy and
Yes.
Alan Day on the drums.
Yep.
They're good dudes. Those guys, good friends of ours.
We find that the duo, it's like, how many cooks can you have in a kitchen? So I've been in bands where
Oh,
4 or 5
true.
people we're all standing in a room, and I just felt like for the two of us to get it done, we're very productive when it comes time to write songs, and we work really well together. And I'm the crazy guy, like I said, and she reels me in, and she's like, what else could we do here? And, so it's great. We work well together, and
That's awesome. Very good. Now, what about you guys on the personal side? So outside of this music thing, what are the hobbies? What's life like?
Well, for me, so I'm an artist as well, and I run a decorative painting company.
Really?
yeah.
What does decorative painting company
Decorative
mean?
painting. So it's like faux finishing, technically.
Okay.
We do murals and fine art and make, something that isn't stone look like it is stone, that kind of thing.
Wow. And you know,
Yeah.
that's impressive because oftentimes people do music or visual art,
Right.
but it's rare to have somebody do both. So props to you, Laura.
Thank
That's wow. Okay. Very good. Jay, what about you, man?
so I am a big music fan. I love music just as much as you, Brian. I'd like to actually start helping out the community a little bit more, and I actually got the LLC set up for my new independent record label.
Look at you. All right.
It's going to take a little time to get it up, all the legal stuff, but I think Brave Like Us might have a record deal coming to them soon.
Oh, there we
Whatever
go.
that means,
In-house.
but we'll be like the guinea pigs, and then hopefully, maybe I can do some good around here, but maybe promote some festivals or maybe be a sponsor for DC Music Rocks, that kind of stuff.
Let's talk. There's all kinds of
we'll see how
stuff
it
coming
goes
out.
today. We'll see.
I like where your head's at. I don't know if you're just schmoozing me, and even if you are, flattery will get you everywhere. So I love it. There it is. I'm already more excited about that label than you are. So your
you
mission
go.
is successful here. This is good. Oh God, I love it. Now talk about funniest moment that comes to mind when performing.
Oh, when performing.
Oh, so that changes everything.
It does. Because we
Okay.
had a moment, but we were like, we can't talk about that.
Okay, then don't tease us. All right, then what's the funniest moment? Tell us that one then. Now I kind of want
I
to
know.
know.
It's
I think one time we were playing a show. I don't want to give too much of the details, but sometimes you get invited to play something and it seems very legit. And then you get there,
Oh,
and
that
then you
was-
realize
Oh.
instantly that it is, what's the word? Opposite of legit. But
Okay.
you play it
Illegitimate.
anyway, and you do your job, and you take something from it.
Okay.
And
So wait, how was it not like more details? Tell me more on what you thought was legit and then what did it end up being? Say more on that.
it ended up being, all right, so we had to fill out our whole backline sheet. Like, what do you need from us sound wise? And we're like, yeah, this is super legit because we have everything that you need if you're a sound guy,
Right.
And then we show up and we find out there is no sound guy. And there's some dude shows up with like a trailer and dumps 2 PA speakers on a stage and a mixer and says, have a good show. And
my
you
God.
realize you're your own sound
you're
guy.
on your own.
And you don't have anything to run. Like we had what we needed, but no XLR, so we had to just rig everything together. It was
Hilarious.
It was awful.
hilarious.
That's funny. Oh my God. What a crazy experience that must have been. Holy smokes. Now, what about on the opposite of that, biggest success moment that comes to mind?
I mean, finishing this album really is a big one, I think, for both of us. It's for me, it's the best my music has ever felt. It's kind of like, pushing it one step further. And certainly these guys, when we get in the studio, they push me vocally just where to play. It's, even on the violin, they really pull stuff out of me that I just didn't know I could do.
And she refers to is me and our co-producer, Scott Ensign. He's a great guy. He's a bass
Great
player.
guy.
Shout out to Scott.
We got to
Awesome.
give our co-producer a little
Yeah.
shout out.
Oh man.
But the three, we just get it done. We go in the studio and now after doing this first album, we can't wait to do the next one, and that's what it's about, right?
That's it. And my favorite question to ask is if you could offer one piece of advice, what would it be?
Man, follow your dreams, never give up, and keep your head down. Not everything is what it seems. And sometimes you might play a show, like I said, where you think it's going to be legit and it's not. And you might get a phone call. Hey, I saw you at that show that, that wasn't so legit. Everything leads to the other thing, and, don't knock something until you try it, that kind of thing. And, just follow your heart and be brave enough to be yourself.
That's it. Laura,
That's
what
it.
about
I
you?
would second that for sure. I mean, it's definitely about taking every opportunity that you have, that's presented to you. You do have to kind of say no sometimes, but for the most part, say yes to everything. Even like if you're afraid, definitely say yes. That's what'll push you.
Absolutely. God, when you're getting started, that's one of those things I wish I could. If you've ever seen the movie Yes Man by Jim Carrey, that's one of those. I wished for musicians getting started, like until you have so much on your calendar that you can't possibly do anything else. If you want to do music, you have to become a yes man and just freaking say yes, like everything. Just go. Are you available? Then go. And some of it's going to suck and some of it might not be legit. But whatever, that's, powerful.
Yeah.
Nice words, guys. I dig it. Now, if they want to find out more about you and find out when the album's coming out and all the stuff that's happening with Brave Like Us, where do they go?
Well, we've attempted to cover all the social media sites. Biggest one would be Facebook.
Is that still a thing?
It's still a thing,
Right.
from what I hear. We're on Facebook, Brave Like Us Music. Also, bravelikeusmusic.com. Let's see. We're on Twitter now officially at Be Brave.
Be brave like us.
Be Brave Like Us.
Okay.
Instagram, Brave Like Us. Am I missing one? YouTube.
Probably.
We do have a YouTube channel out there with some videos that we've made ourselves that we're pretty proud of.
And I'm assuming, so bravelikeus.com,
bravelikeusmusic.com.
bravelikeusmusic.com, and that also links to all that stuff too.
It does, in fact.
So
yeah.
whatever your
Of course.
platform
The
is,
hub.
they're on there.
That's right.
Look them up.
They'll all go together. Yeah.
Brave Like Us. I love it. Wow. And, so we've been talking for a little bit, so I want to jump back into the music. And one of the things when you're a guest on the show, you have to bring great music with you. And these guys definitely did. I'm really excited about the music on this show is so good today. What do you have for us today, guys?
We have a song by the lovely and talented Louisa Hall called Missed Connections.
DC Music rocks. Tune in, jam on, rock out.
I saw him walking off the metro, and I couldn't walk away. So I followed him to his house. It was the best, the very best day. He loves me in my dreams and has no choice in the matter. And every time I see him walk away, I get a little bit sadder. Oh, please, won't you be my misconnection? Oh, please, won't you be my misconnection? He was walking home from the metro, and he didn't feel alone. So he stole a quick glance behind him. Those extra footsteps he heard weren't his own. He loves me in my dreams and has no choice in the matter. And every time he sees me behind him, he gets a little bit madder. Oh, please, won't you be my misconnection? Please change your direction. Oh, please, won't you be my misconnection? I got a taste of more protection. So I sit at home alone and I post, hoping beyond hope that he'll read it. I could really use some human contact. You got no idea how much I need it. But if he's not picking up what I'm putting down, I could always find another. Hey, you there, listening in. What do you think? You want to be lovers? Oh, please, won't you be my misconnection? Nobody shares your affection. Oh, please, won't you be my misconnection? Nobody wants your affection. Oh, please, won't you be my misconnection? Please change your direction. Oh, please, won't you be someone special?
I love Louisa Hall. That's her song Misconnection. And that's featuring Mark Williams. That's off her album Barista Boyfriend. And oh my goodness. Like if you weren't listening to the words, I hope you go back and listen again and listen to the words because there's a message in her songs too. And it's always really interesting. She's an Alexandria girl and has been right around the area for a very long time. And she performs all over the area and she's got such a good vibe. She's recommended if you like, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Lady Flight of the Conchords or Slightly Inappropriate Ella Fitzgerald. You might like more of Louisa Hall's. It's Louisa. We should specify it's an essay. Louisa Hall when you see her. Call her Louisa. So talk about her, man. She's awesome.
I love her so much.
She's great.
I
If
think
you've
I
ever
have a
seen
huge crush on her.
Yeah.
She's adorable and she's gorgeous and she's like the person that you want to be friends with. Like you just want to think that you're friends with her.
She's very
Nice.
genuine
Yeah.
and friendly.
Oh,
and,
she is great.
But she just owns a stage and she's playing her ukulele and she's just killing it.
Killing it.
Killing it. Like,
So
you're
true.
like, I didn't even know I liked the ukulele
Yeah.
until I saw her play. And I was like,
I
oh,
love
yeah.
artists
I
like
was
that.
Yeah. Now I follow her on Spotify and
Absolutely.
and we get to
She's
share the stage with her.
She's 100% herself on stage. I mean, I don't really know her, but I think we're friends. So
You assume
in my head, we're friends.
she comes across as like, yeah, this is me.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She seems very honest and easy to relate to, and just her songs are clever. They're witty. They're jazzy. They're fun. You know, she's great.
How did you first come across her? How'd you meet her?
We actually met her through Justin Trewick, who does the 9 series. And
Of course,
we
yep.
did a
Yeah, they're buddies, by the way. If you follow them
Yeah.
online, there's a lot of Justin and Louisa selfies and shows. And yeah, they do a lot of stuff together too.
So Justin, he's great about bringing local musicians together with his 9 series, and we met her then, and then we went to her album release for Barista Boyfriend at Jam and Java, and it was packed, and it was just a great time. We had a great time. Got a vinyl of the album.
Got your favorite coffee mug?
I don't even have a record player. I was like, sell me a vinyl. She was selling vinyls for $10 that night special. I was like, give me one.
That's wow. And vinyl for $10?
I know.
Stop
Yeah.
it.
I know.
That's
It's like, take my money. Take it.
And this is what happens when you go to album release shows, by the way.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel like people miss the memo, but if you go to the album release show, they always have some kind of crazy deal on the albums.
Yeah.
So make sure if you see one of those and you really like the band, go to the album release show because they get
Absolutely.
super excited and then they give stuff away and it's always good stuff too, which is not, well, and I should specify that, no, I still want you to buy the merch too because artists love when you buy the merch.
Right.
But that
Sure.
said, there's always good deals. So yeah, check out
Yeah.
more from Louisa Hall and all the awesome stuff she has going on. Very good. Well, I've got one more song, but before I do that, I want to kind of bring things to a close. So first, let me just say, guys, here's what I love. I love that you guys found each other as lefties and are now making music. And then you're going on an RV tour. Sounds so much better than a couch surfing tour. And it sounds so much better or more classy than an Airbnb tour. It's like you have your own RV. I can only imagine the parking spots you'll be parking that thing in.
That's right.
But at the same time, you like, that's going to be amazing to see. So I look forward to those. I love that you're making this music and you're taking a shot and going across the country. And I love that you're finally going to drive across the country, Jay.
right.
And I just love what you're doing, guys. So thank you so much for being here and coming to talk to us today.
Thank
you,
you.
Brian. Thanks.
And this is one more time for those folks who want to find out more about you guys and what you're doing. What's the best place for them to go?
I would say bravelikeusmusic.com or search for us on Facebook at Brave Like Us.
Brave Like Us.
Brave Like
You
Us.
got it. Follow them online. Very cool. And listeners, I play drums for the DC rock band Fellowcraft. And since I am a DC musician, I consider it such a treat to share these guests like Brave Like Us and the great music from right here in Washington, DC with you each week. So, I mean, just imagine some of these people live right around the corner from you. It's nuts. Remember, this isn't just a show, though. We have resources for you, too. So on DCMusicRocks.com, you'll have access to a DC artist database to help you find more DC artists, local ones that you'll love. We have a calendar to help you attend these great shows happening all over the DC area every single day. And we have playlists full of music by DC artists for you to enjoy. So the bottom line is I just want to say thanks. Thanks for following DC's music. Thanks for supporting DC's musicians. And most importantly, thanks for listening. Next week, we have Marielle Craft coming in, who just found out about her on the Eli Lev episode. I discovered her, and man, her story is amazing. And she's got new music coming out. I can't wait to talk to her and get her in the studio here. So that's exciting. And I have one more, and this was one that I want to share because I get to bring some too. And this is an artist called Kat Janis. And if you don't know Kat Janis, I heard her stuff and it just blew me away. She's recommended if you like Amy Winehouse, Duffy, or Nora Jones, you might love Kat Janis. That's kind of the style that she goes for. So she's got a few different pieces. If you want to check out more, they're more centrally located in the Arlington area, but they play DC, Virginia, and Maryland. I see that they're October 26th. They're at Bungalow. She's at Bungalow Billiard. But I got a lot more information about her on her DC in the DC artist database. So if you go to DCMusicRocks.com, all these artists, or they're linked in your episode notes. If you just hit their name, it'll take you to their profile in our database, and you can read about them, find their links to iTunes and Spotify, check out more of their music, their website, all that stuff. So I hope you check out more from Kat Janis and what she has going on. So I'm going to bring it home. One last song. This is Wild. It's off the album Wild by Kat Janis.
DC Music rocks.
Walk into the house from a long day's work. My pocket's full of pain and my mind's all a blur. Light up all my thoughts that I don't want heard. All I need is loving, but I don't say a word. Oh, 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 I don't say a word. Oh, I don't say a water through my body, melting out my ice. Your hands are moving closer, giving me some time. Throw away my candle and start it on my night. All I need is loving when you hit me with those eyes. Oh, 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 hit me with those, hit me with those, hit me with those, hit me with those eyes. Sing in the dark is my hit of dawn. He's better than any stupid song I wrote. He bites like a wolf in a dog fight, and we love like animals raging in the wild. Oh, 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 raging in the wild. Oh, 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 raging in the wild. Mama tells me it's no good, and I wouldn't leave him even if I could. He's cool like the dark of a summer night. He's meaner than an addict with no hope inside. Sing in the dark is my hit of dawn. He's better than any stupid song I wrote. He bites like a wolf in a dog fight, and we love like animals raging in the wild. Oh, life's just a game that we play. If we walk or we run in the rain, let the clouds fall on our face. 'Cause while
Thank you so much for listening to DC Music Rocks. Useful links and information about this episode can be found on the website dcmusicrocks.com. Tune in, jam on, rock out.